Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're back. I hope everyone's doing okay. Today we're going to be making an easy recipe. The recipe that would normally make within 40-30 minutes. It depends on how much of it you make, but usually this recipe, it takes me about 30 to 40 minutes to make. We're going to be making pork chops a la Mexicana. A la Mexicana, it's like tomatoes, onions, and your type of chile that you want to use. In this case, we're going to be using Serranos, but you can also use jalapenos. For this recipe, we're going to be needing pork chops. I'm using boneless pork chops, but whatever pork chops you have available, that's fine. Thin pork chop. That's what makes it easier. The thin pork chops cook faster, so that's why it's faster for it to cook. 1 whole onion, 3 tomatoes, 3 serrano peppers, 1 garlic clove, cumin, and salt to your taste. In a pan, we're going to be adding our pork chops. Now, these have already been washed. They're semi-frozen. We're going to place them on a pan, spread them around, add a little bit of salt, cover this, and put it on your stove for medium to low heat. After about 5-10 minutes, you want to make sure you check it because since they're thin, they're going to cook faster. If you have the thick pork chop, those are going to take much longer for them to be cooked. Also, if it has the bone in it, it's going to take much longer for it to cook. Make sure you keep an eye on it so it won't burn. You don't need to add water because the meat releases water that it's going to cook eventually. We just need to wait for that water to evaporate, then we're going to fry our pork chop. Just leave it with salt and the meat, cover it on medium to low heat. While that is going on, we're going to be preparing our a la Mexicana. And for your serranos, like I said, you can also use serranos or jalapenos. We're going to be adding our serranos into small pieces. Our onions needs to be on half moon. That means just cutting it in half. And then that half, you just need to slice it, creating like a moon shape, like kind of like a C shape. And we're going to be cutting our garlic very, very small. For your tomatoes, you want to dice them very finely. This is why it's called a la Mexicana, because it has the colors of Mexico, the Mexican flag. It's green, white, and red. It took about 10 minutes for my pork chops to be done, for the water to evaporate. We're going to flip them around. If your pork chops have oil in it, if already released oil, don't add more oil to it because it already has the lard from the pork, and you're just going to eventually create more fat on there. If you like it, that's fine. It's up to you, however you want to cook it. I just prefer not to leave the fat from the pork because I like to use vegetable oil instead, whichever one works better for you. We're going to be adding a little bit more oil to our pork chops. Fry them from both sides. After they get nice and crispy, remove them from the oil and put them on a plate. On that same oil that your pork chops were frying, we're going to add the onions and the garlic. Let that saute for about a minute. Then we're going to add our jalapenos and our tomatoes. Cover this and put it on medium to low heat. We're gonna wait about 2 to 3 minutes. If the tomatoes are not juicy enough, you might want to add a little bit of water. If you feel like it's too dry or it's sticking to your pan, you might want to add a little bit of water. Mine has enough water. I don't want it too watery. I want it dry, but I also don't want it too dry where you can't really taste the flavors in it. So about this consistency is good. After your tomatoes are kind of become like a little sauce, we're going to add our pork chop. Move them around. Remember, you already added salt to your pork chops. So before adding more salt, check your salt first. Mine is a little bit short on salt, so I'm going to be adding a little bit of salt. We're also going to be adding our cumin at this time. Mix all this together, just so all the flavors can combine together. And after this, we are done. We're going to serve it with the rice. I made yellow rice with some sweet bell peppers. Let me know in the comments down below and give this video a big thumbs up if you guys want me to leave you a recipe for this yellow rice with some bell peppers in it. It's really good. Both of them really go good together. And this is all for today's video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Share with your friends if you loved it. Subscribe to our channel to be part of our family. Turn on your notification bell so you can be notified every time that we upload a video. Remember, we upload videos every week. Follow me on my Instagram page and my TikTok page. I'm going to be leaving the links down below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week with a brand new recipe. Bye!